Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Block Theater, and The Joker is a movie that I admitted I was wrong about. I really don't know what it was about the trailer that when I first watched it that kind of got me in the wrong headspace for it. But the more I watched it, the more it clicked, and I think I've kind of figured out a little bit about the story, at least what I can expect in regards to the story based upon this trailer. So I did want to do a breakdown of it, even though I'm a couple days late. I still very much wanted to touch upon this particular trailer because of just how good it really was, and how dumb I was ultimately to really just not get it. But I thought we'd go through it and take a look at it. And break down the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what I feel is ultimately going to be the kind of the general plot line, or at least elements of the plot based upon what this thing tells us. So we start off here. Obviously, this is meant to be Gotham. Clearly, it looks like New York, but they did film this on location in New York. Even though Gotham is more modeled after Chicago, I feel that would have been a more appropriate city to film in. But at the same time, the grittiness of the Big Apple, especially what is this, Brooklyn, or the Bronx or Queens? I don't know. It's one of the boroughs. Is clearly going to be a better set establishment as far as a backdrop goes for this particular character study. So we open up here, we see Gotham Central Hospital, him talking to a Department of Health social worker. Can't quite see her name, but here we could probably tell that this is clearly something to do with his mom, and just the look on his face right here. I really love. This is Joaquim Phoenix before he's attempting to put on the smile, clearly being told something here about his mother, probably about her health care, not being able to afford it, and something bad in that regard. Because remember, something is going to push this man towards the break. Something is going to shit on this dude hard enough to where he is going to then pick up the mantle of the Clown Prince of Crime. But I really love that look. And then, of course, that brief transition right there. And you see it in his eyes. That is part of the beautiful acting of Joaquin Phoenix, is you see it in his eyes where he's just looking dead ahead, and then he kind of turns and there's a flash. Now it might just be the way the light is reflecting off of his eyeballs, but it's there, it's apparent, it's very subtle, and you'll miss it if you don't see it, but it's just absolutely gorgeous, and it really shows you that this guy is close to the brink, that he is very much at the point of trying to keep it together, and it could fall apart at any point in time. We see him here walking through again the city. This takes place in the 1980s. Obviously, the cars, the trash, because New York in the 80s was terrible. New York in the 80s was absolutely terrible before they cleaned it up quite a bit. So this is again, it's referencing Gotham, but it's meant to be New York. But we see him, just walking alone. He's walking with a shuffle. He's just downtrodden, clearly down on his luck, slumped over, hates life, and here he's taking after his mom, and trying to keep it all together because that's his mom. That's the woman that he loves. But you can see here, most likely him dealing with what's going to happen, her suffering from whatever disease ails her, and him probably trying to hold it together. If you go back and you look at him walking up the stairs right here, you can see he's holding a bag in his hands. I think that ultimately is probably a prescriptions for his mom. The key thing to notice here in regards to what this movie is setting up is you got to look at his clothes. His clothes kind of give us a key indicator of where things are, I think, in the story versus what we see. And here again, just showing that scene again, him playfully cleaning his mom, loving his mom, and then trying to write down jokes. But you can see the handwriting gets progressively worse as it goes along, right? But in the very top one, he's trying to write the joke, and then it's a concise paragraph, and then it's a few more, but then it just keeps getting bigger, and then it says people expect you to behave as if you don't. Now, what that tells me right there is that and this is alongside the prescription bottle that's right there next to him, is people are expecting him to behave as if he doesn't. So they're putting these these preconceived notions on him. There are these preset beliefs and ideologies on him, portraying him as something that he's not. And I think that's what's maybe finally getting to him. Maybe it's because he has a sick mother. Maybe it's because he's poor. Maybe it's because he's uneducated. We really have no idea until we see the movie, but that's a lot of what they're going for here. Uh, then we see him at his job, just doing his thing, bringing laughter to the world. And then, I mean, you see him here. He's just, again, look at the clothing. So he's got the gloves, he's got the makeup on, he's got the hat, the wig, the checkered, the checkered jacket. Look at the vest, the yellow vest. And then, of course, the guys take his sign, and he chases them, gets hit by a car, and then hit by them. And they kick him in the balls, and they leave him on the ground, and he's just broken, probably, at this point. I think this part right here is a little bit later on. We can see the bruising from where the car hit him. We can see the bruising from his injuries, and I think this is probably him at work later on, just getting very frustrated, very angry. But if you want my honest opinion, what he's doing right there is he's making the Joker mask that we see later on in the trailer. But we can also look how thin he is too. That's pretty creepy. He lost a lot of weight for this one. Again, him with his mom. They're watching something on TV. I'm pretty sure that there's some Easter eggs in there, but it's a simple apartment, terrible upholstery, but the suit, the suit is definitely something that I think takes place a little bit later on in the film. Cause he's trying, maybe he's trying this as a stand-up thing. Right here, he's talking to Zazie Beetz, who plays a single mother in the movie that he has affection for. And again, this could be because he never had a father. That I might be a part in the movie, part of the character study. He doesn't have a dad. And she's got a child, and he is finding her. He's taken with her. This very taken with her. Here you could see the look on his face where he's trying to feign that he's trying to put on the happy face, but there's still this layer of like anger and perhaps disgust behind his eyes. Just the pursed lips really kind of give it away, in my opinion. But then I love this too, that if for some reason Arkham State Hospital instead of Arkham Asylum, maybe after this it becomes the Arkham Asylum. But I don't know why they would have changed that. That to me, I don't know. But here again, he's also, like he's in this asylum, and this is obviously something to do with his mom. Where her disease maybe is degenerative, maybe it is dementia, maybe it is Alzheimer's, and he just can't take care of her, so she would have to go to a home. And if they can't afford a home, then the state might step in and say, well, you could send her here to Arkham Asylum or Arkham State Hospital where we can look after her. Because I'm pretty sure it's some kind of degenerative mental disorder is what his mom has, because I think he has it too. And then just that right there of, he's talking with an orderly there. There's going to probably be some kind of conflict. And that's when he's going to be getting more and more stressed out, which is where we get that what from, that very direct, very enunciated what, which I think is very fascinating. But here he's at the club watching someone perform. And that is kind of what I think finally sold me on it. When I heard that laugh just kind of come out of him, that bellowing laugh. And I thought to myself, like, holy crap, you know what I mean? Like, that's the laugh, but it's the early stages of the laugh. And as much as I enjoyed Jared Leto's take on it, and of course Mark Hamill's take on it, that sounded very creepy. And you can see it again in his eyes. Look how dilated his pupils are. That's probably just because of how dark it is. But, it's just, you can see the crazy right beneath the layers of the flesh. And that is, that's really good. And then here he's at work trying to keep it together. This is later on, probably before the transformation. This shot right here is one everyone keeps going back to. This is him clearly dealing with the stress of his mom. This is probably before he gets beat. I'm trying to think, let me see what clothes he's got on here. Okay, so he hasn't dressed up just yet, but we can see the wig right there. And so this is probably before he gets beaten up. Again, dealing with his mom's medical situation is what I view this particular scene as. But then just him trying, just like to put a smile on his face. Like he has to keep putting that out there. And of course, this is coming probably after he got beat up. We can see that he's got the same clothes on he had before. And if you want my honest opinion, I think he's probably going to get fired from his job. I think he's going to get fired from being a clown because the sign got stolen and because he was beaten up. I have a feeling that the boss is probably going to fire him, and this is him out of money, out of resources, out of everything. Just at the end of his damn rope, completely at the end of his rope, just letting out this bellowing yell on the subway, which is going to get the attention of those guys right there that are going to go over, as we see here in a second, and mess with them, which, is, I don't think, going to end well for them. I don't think it's going to end well for them at all, because they beat him up. And I'm pretty sure at this point in time, he kills all three of them. And I don't think it's going to be anything short of brutal. I don't think it's going to be anything short of brutal, because he is angry now, especially when we see this shot right here, which, by the way, I love the composition of this shot. The city in the backdrop, the tunnel, the lighting, the roads are always wet. It's a film thing, but just the cars and the way it looks in the shadow right there on the left wall, and then him running. And we see him here running, and he's got, there we go. There we go. See, he's got the bag, but look at his face. His face is bloody. His face is bloody. This, of course, is after the guys beat him up, after he probably killed him. And I don't know how he does it or if he does it, but that's what I take from that whole scene. But then him here, again, he's wearing the same clothes and he's bloody. And this is also part of the transformation scene, I think, because he is looking at himself in the mirror and everything else. I don't know what goes on here. I think that looked more like him encountering Bruce Wayne. Not Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne, and that whole perspective. But then he mentioned right here, Thomas Wayne says, like, who would do such a terrible thing? Which leads me to believe that he did, in fact, kill those guys on that train because they were the only people that were there. But he does it in a way that's just very brutal, but he's got the Joker paint on. So that could be where the mask element comes from. We do see him here. This is, again, he's got the gun on his hand. Got the gun. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. This is after. He's got the gun because I think one of those guys had the gun. I think one of those Wall Street exec guys that he kills has that gun, which is what he wrestled away in order to kill the three of them. Here he's feeling elevated. He's feeling built up. You know what I mean? He just took his power back, which is the point. But look how emaciated he is. Look how thin he is. Actually, Zazie Beetz said that it was they probably couldn't do much in regards to reshoots simply because of how much weight Joaquin Phoenix had lost. But you can see it here that this is him celebrating. This is him celebrating, him taking his power back, and the thrill and the adrenaline from it, which I think is very, very cool. And then, of course, we have Thomas Wayne. And we've got, this is, Shea Whittingham, I think is his name, Willingham. And obviously we can see that there's other Jokers that are there, kind of just backing it up here a second. We can see there's one Joker mask, another Joker mask, and another guy over here wearing a Joker mask. So obviously, this is towards the end of the film, the climax of the film, when the Joker has arisen as a mascot against the rich and powerful, maybe, of Gotham, and has amassed himself a following. We don't quite know yet if it's going to be the crime. I don't think it's going to be criminal things, but it's also possible. It's also possible because I think I'm not too sure what it says right there. It says tax on the guy's sign, but it could also be a fan club. And I say that because of another shot coming up here in a second, where, okay, we saw a bunch of different masks there. So, we don't quite know yet, but here we see that this is clearly Zazie Beetz over here on the right-hand side. And he's got this is before everything goes down. But if you, again, look at his clothing, he's got the same shirt on that he was wearing beforehand. And he's got the nose, and he's, happy. And I think this is what's leading into, this is before his decline, where he has met Zazie Beetz, met her son. He likes them. He has a connection to them. He's trying to be better for them. And ultimately it's just not going to happen. But this right here, everyone assumes that this is going to be little Bruce Wayne. Truth of the matter is, it probably is, to be fair. I'll be honest with you. It probably is. And that's pretty creepy. And then we got this shot of him here on the stage telling the jokes. Now, this again might come after the fact. It might come after. No, because look at the clothes he's wearing. This is him before. He was dancing with his mom wearing this outfit as well. He wears this outfit a couple times in the movie. So there's going to be a symbolic nature of that particular outfit, I think. But ultimately, looking at the idea, I think this is either before his mom goes away, he gets the confidence maybe to go up there and tell the jokes, or this might be a dream sequence that he's just wearing this outfit. But something, puts him, like right here, when he bashes his head, that's in the bathroom where he was before. That's in the bathroom when he was dancing around. That's going to be that final thing. He's going to do that right after he was running in the tunnel. Now, this right here with De Niro playing this particular talk show host character, and we saw that shot there of him sitting back smoking a cigarette. That's clearly a dressing room. So that is before whatever this is, whatever scene this is, where the Joker appears. You look at this; they're going to be on camera. He's got the cigarette. He's on a stage. You have the stagehands, the production assistant, and this is him coming out. And something's going to happen with these guys right here, where this might be him taking Gotham to task, for the rich being rich and the poor staying poor and that type of inequality. And this is where he might get his army of jokers, his army of people following him, because he's calling it like it is. He's telling it like it is, but he's doing it from behind a mask, and that could give him the popularity that he's ultimately seeking. But with it comes, again, ultimately lots of consequences. So there's going to be lots of fear with cops, right there getting hit by the car as the Joker. But also when he was running with that file that was in the Arkham Asylum, and I think that had to do right here. He's got a file in his hands. This is clearly him stealing something from the Arkham State Hospital for his mom, essentially. Getting hit by the car right there. Again, him dyeing his hair right here. This is before going into the whatever he's going to go on that night show. Him leaving to go to that night show, and us seeing him. This is probably the first time we see him as the Joker completely in the film, and then him pumping himself up and everything else. But I really do love the shot right here. I just love that little smirk right there. The depth of field against the elevator, the way it looks, it's a beautiful looking shot. It's a great looking composite. And ultimately that to me is pretty much where the Joker is as the trailer goes. It's that's what we're going to be expecting. Which I thought, oh, by the way, there's one little element here that I thought was really interesting that they add in, right there. DC. They got DC. They got it right there. They want to make sure that it's very quick at the very end. So you don't quite know. But it's very, very quick there at the end. So yeah, that's my breakdown of the Joker trailer. I don't know why I didn't get it at first. I don't know why it didn't strike me at first as being as good as it was. It took me, surprisingly, just watching it as an ad on a video for it to click, where I got to finally see it for what it was. I do talk about that in the other video, but ultimately this is my breakdown of the Joker. Very curious to know your guys' thoughts, your guys' opinion on this one. Do you think that the movies, do you think I'm right? Do you think my speculation, my interpretation of this trailer is accurate? Or do you think that it's going to be something wholly different? I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day.